Elite Force Season 1 saves its biggest surprise for the very end. What begins as a high-stakes hostage rescue slowly transforms into a deeply personal tragedy, proving that the terrorists were planning something much bigger all along. While the GGN believes they are racing against time to stop a bombing inside an auditorium, the real attack is happening somewhere completely different. The finale delivers explosive action, emotional family drama, and a devastating ending that leaves every major character changed forever. One of the most important storylines focuses on Max. After learning that David is actually his biological father, Max struggles to process everything he thought he knew about his family. Until now, he believed Laurent was his father. Instead, his entire identity is turned upside down. His mother, Natalie, finally tells him the complete story. Years earlier, she had a relationship with David before he built a life with Jess. Later, while Laurent was deployed overseas, she became pregnant. For years, everyone believed Laurent was Max's biological father. Only much later did medical tests reveal that Laurent could never have had children. That discovery confirmed David was Max's real father. Natalie chose to keep the truth hidden. She believed protecting everyone was the right decision. Instead, the secret created even greater pain. Max feels betrayed not only because his mother lied to him, but because David unknowingly spent years separated from his own son. This emotional conflict becomes just as important as the action unfolding elsewhere. At the same time, another crisis begins. Terrorists seize control of an auditorium filled with civilians. Among the hostages is Manon. To make matters worse, the missing CL-20 explosive introduced earlier in the season has also been brought into the building. The situation immediately becomes one of the most dangerous missions the GGN has ever faced. David wants immediate action. Cedric, however, insists that rushing in without proper intelligence could get everyone killed. The disagreement quickly turns personal. David's frustration reaches its limit, and he even lashes out physically before apologizing. Despite their differences, both men ultimately share the same goal. They want every hostage brought home safely. The team develops a careful rescue plan. By accessing telecommunications equipment connected to the building, they successfully hack into the security camera system. The footage reveals at least 5 armed terrorists inside. For the first time, Max is finally allowed to participate alongside the experienced operators. It marks an important moment in his journey. Despite everything happening in his personal life, he is determined to prove himself as part of the unit. Unfortunately, the operation immediately becomes even more dangerous. Hidden snipers begin firing at the rescue teams. Several officers are injured, including Rafa, one of Max's closest friends from training. She is rushed to the hospital, reminding everyone that this mission carries very real consequences. David receives permission to pursue the sniper team inside a nearby building. Leading a small tactical group, he searches the structure while the main assault continues inside the auditorium. There he encounters the mysterious female sniper recognizable by the scar beneath her eye. However, something about the confrontation feels unusual. Instead of killing David immediately, the terrorists appear to have orders to keep him alive. That small detail becomes extremely important later. Meanwhile, GGN operators successfully enter the auditorium and begin rescuing the hostages. At first, the mission appears successful. Most civilians are evacuated safely. However, one serious problem remains. Manon has been handcuffed directly to an explosive device. The situation mirrors an earlier terrorist attack from the beginning of the season, suggesting the criminals are repeating familiar tactics. David eventually reaches the underground area beneath the building. There he discovers the female terrorist holding another detonator. Rather than allowing herself to be captured, she shoots herself. Her death immediately activates a countdown timer. With only minutes remaining, Panic spreads through the entire operation. David and bomb specialist Tanya desperately work together. While Tanya focuses on disabling the explosive, David refuses to leave his daughter behind. Time quickly runs out. Finally, the handcuffs are removed. With less than a minute remaining, they escape the building together. For a brief moment, it appears the crisis has ended. The hostages survive. The bomb has been neutralized. The terrorists have been stopped. Everyone believes victory belongs to the GIGN. Then comes the shocking twist. As investigators continue examining evidence, Chloe uncovers the identity of the female sniper. She is revealed to be the same assassin responsible for killing Kroller earlier in the season. This confirms the terrorists were connected to a much larger conspiracy operating behind multiple attacks. However, an even bigger revelation follows almost immediately. The auditorium bombing was never the terrorists' true objective. Everything inside the building served as a distraction. The real target was Jess. While everyone focused their attention on saving Manon and the other hostages, explosives had already been planted beneath Jess's vehicle. David receives the warning only seconds too late. He races desperately toward her, hoping to stop the attack. But there is no time. The car suddenly explodes in a massive fireball. Jess is killed instantly. The final explosion completely changes the meaning of everything that happened throughout the episode. The terrorists never expected the auditorium bomb to succeed. It was deliberately designed as bait. By forcing every emergency service, police officer and GGN operator to concentrate on one dramatic hostage crisis, they guaranteed that nobody would notice the real assassination taking place outside. It was a carefully planned diversion from the very beginning. Jess's death, therefore, becomes far more than an emotional tragedy. It represents a devastating strategic victory for the people behind the attack. They manipulated the entire security operation, controlled where authorities focused their resources, and successfully eliminated their true target without anyone realizing the deception until it was too late. For David, the ending is absolutely heartbreaking. He manages to save his daughter only to lose the woman he loves moments later. After spending the entire finale fighting to protect his family, he ultimately discovers that the battle was never truly about Manon. The enemy had been targeting Jess all along. The ending also leaves Max facing an uncertain future. Just as he begins learning the truth about his biological father, that father suffers an unimaginable personal loss. Instead of finally building a relationship together, both men now carry even greater emotional burdens. Season 1 therefore ends with several unanswered questions. Who organized the elaborate terrorist operation? Why was Jess specifically targeted? How deep does the conspiracy actually go? And can David, Max, and the rest of the GGN recover after such a devastating loss? Elite Force closes its first season by proving that the biggest threat was never the bomb inside the auditorium. It was the carefully hidden plan operating behind it all. By sacrificing one operation to guarantee another, the terrorists outsmarted everyone, leaving David alive, but emotionally shattered and setting the stage for an even more dangerous conflict in the future.